those tissues as the person continues to labor, and the baby doesn't come out, and as it's compressing all those tissues down in the pelvis, you can actually get lack of blood flow. It's like you can do that if you press hard enough on your skin and it gets paler because you're depriving it of blood flow. Well, imagine that for a protracted period of time, intense pressure. Eventually the tissue can die.
Some cell death.
Yes, so you get some cell death, and then holes can form there, and as those heal, you get some abnormal connections between various parts of the body. That is the general way that these have been formed, at least in this case. I'm not saying that this is the only way you can get one of these fistulas. There are other conditions, but this is what we're talking about. So if the bladder and vagina are now connected, you can have urine that continually leaks from the vagina, which can predispose you to infections, bladder infections, kidney infections, that kind of thing. And if there's a connection between the vagina and the rectum, stool can leak from the vagina, which again, it can predispose you to all kinds of infections. And beyond these medical complications, there's also some obvious quality of life complications here. Fistula. And he decided that he needed to come up with a way to fix these. They were a major medical problem. This was something that needed a fix. There are 3 women that we're going to talk about in particular, but the deal was that he would take ownership of them and be able to do whatever surgeries he wanted to do, and in exchange, in attempt to fix these problems, in exchange, the slave owners would pay taxes on them and provide some clothes. And this is the deal that was set out for the experiments that we're going to talk about.
That's going to be after the break, and do want to warn you that Sydney has briefed me on some of this, and it will not be necessarily a pleasant listen, but I think it's worthwhile. But do want to give you a warning now. If that is not something that you would enjoy hearing, I'll give you close notes. Bad dude.
Yeah.
Very bad dude is the short version. And if you want to hear the much more, the longer version and the discussion about this, we'll do that right after we go to the middle part. Our first sponsor this week is ZipRecruiter. You already used to work, Sydney?
No, Justin.
Don't know this. You open up a window out of your 3rd story office and shout, "Hey, does anybody want a job? I have a job." And you wouldn't even say what the job was, and a bunch of people would line up outside, and you realize, oh my God, we didn't open the front door. It was a mess, and then people were trying to climb up, and you would climb up to the window.
And then you needed to hire somebody to build you a door, but
right,
you
and
still
how do you hire
exactly. Yeah.
That's the old way. The new way is ZipRecruiter.
Perfecting some sort of in front of a crowd of doctors so that they could see what he was doing as well. And it would take a long time because there was no accepted method at the time for fixing these, right? So you were figuring it out as you went. He performed the surgery 30 times over 4 years on Antarctica